What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel Everyday Carry for the Everyday Guy. We've got some mail to open today. We're going to do a pocket dump. Guys, these pouches from Cerberus Tactical Africa, these Helicon pouches are the absolute SHI you know what. Freaking, I love this thing. This thing is the perfect mini EDC pouch size. I like it so much, I'm going to do a full video on how I have mine stacked out or decked out, whatever the case may be. I also have some EDC Q&As that I'm going to answer. I do want to give a shout out to a buddy of mine from the US. He runs a YouTube channel called EDC TV. It's like this. I'll leave it linked down below. Give him a follow. He's a really cool guy. He's also like me, up and coming, starting in the EDC YouTube game. He's over in the States. His name is Tommy. We chat often and support him because he's doing really cool things. Okay, let's start off with very exciting news. No, let's do the pocket dump, then the exciting news, because the pocket dump will allude to the exciting news. Okay, left rear pocket is my Leatherman Scully tool. Belt is Core Essentials. Flashlight is the Manka MC11-2, which I'm testing for review. Come on. Knife is the knife that I designed in a with the soft loop setup. Holster and firearm, here's where it changes. Have any of you ever seen that light before? I don't think so. So I'm still running my Southwest holster, but we'll talk more about this in just a second. Let's get that guy on there. Knife, Benchmade Griptilian, and Open 2. Okay, let's have a quick chat about what we have right here. It's just empty that. Guys, we are now empty and safe. This is a new light from Opsmen. Now, you might be wondering why you've never seen this before. That's because Opsmen have literally asked me if I would be so kind as to test and give my opinion on a pre-production model. This is a pre-production. It's not been made yet. It's not been supplied to the public yet. And you probably haven't seen this light anywhere else but on this channel. The little South African EDC channel that could is now testing lights for Opsmen. If you don't know who Opsmen are, they're the guys who make the electronic hearing protectors. They're a well-known company. And this is their second light. Their first one, the Opsmen Fast 401. I'm not gonna give away what this is called. I quite liked. I thought it was a very good, inexpensive option that worked really well. And this one, I'm currently testing and giving them feedback on what I would like to change, not change, do differently, that sort of thing. And the really cool thing is they're taking my feedback. How crazy is that? Like they're literally saying, okay, we will work on that. We'll get our engineering team to have a look at that. That's cool. The light itself, I think, looks quite cool. I think it's a cool looking light. Fits the Glock frame really well. The buttons are interesting. They are different, and they have a bit of intelligent programming involved to ensure you don't negligently light yourself up. It's very interesting. It's a very interesting light, and hopefully soon it'll be available on the market. But first, there might be some EDC for the EDG changes made to it. So I'm super proud of that fact. I have been putting this thing through its paces, as you saw in the intro. That's actually part of the mail time. So let's answer a question, because this piece of mail actually came on Friday last week, but I wasn't sure if I could share it with the world, because like there's literally no pictures of this holster, of this weapon light anywhere, right? That's more than likely the first time anyone's ever seen it outside of Opsmen. How cool is that? So let's not open this mail. Let's take a question. Hi Ryan, how's it going? Really love your channel. It's good to see someone in South Africa doing this sort of thing. I have a quick question. I saw your video on Sunday where you spoke about Olight versus Surefire. My question is quite simple. Would you trust an Olight with your life? From Grant Abraham. Grant, good question, and the answer is no. There is no weapon-mounted light. There's virtually no tool ever made by man that I would trust with my life. So, that's a very good question. You know why? Especially in the light of this. A lot of people will say, man, you're gonna put an untested weapon light on your firearm, right? A lot of people would say, you're definitely going to get the people who are going to say something like at 2 o'clock in the morning, I don't want something untested on my firearm, etc. The reality is, guys, someone has to go first. Okay, if we all sit on the sidelines, nothing will ever get made. Someone has to be willing to test out things. I don't mind doing that, right? Like with my firearm, I don't know if you noticed, but the slide is milled on the sides as well. Very, very few people have that. I think SA Laser Engraving were the first people in South Africa to do this to this firearm as the first one that they did to my firearm. Similarly, my slide is milled for the MOS plates. I don't think SA Laser Engraving had done that before. I have no problem going first. Someone has to, okay? I like trying new things. And if I didn't, I don't think I would survive in this game, okay? So, man, I'm digressing. To answer the question, there's no flashlight, weapon-mounted light, even firearm. Yeah, maybe firearm. There's no flashlight, weapon-mounted light, or pretty much any tool that I would give my life to. You have to remember, if I draw my firearm and my flashlight fails, it is now the same as having a firearm with no flashlight on, with no weapon light on it, right? I still carry the fight. I still have to fight on. Okay, it's not like I draw and I press the button, light doesn't go on, and I'm like, oh, okay, dude, yes, you know what, you're just gonna kill me, you know, because my weapon-mounted light failed. No, you carry on. If your red dot fails, if you pull the trigger and your Glock goes click, you don't just quit. You tap back. You carry on. You switch out the mag. You run away. You throw the freaking mag at the guy. Do whatever you have to do in life to survive. Don't. The question is incorrect from its thought process. And no disrespect to you, Grant. It's not. I'm not saying it to you, but I hear this a lot. Would you trust your life to this? Would you trust your life to that? In that moment, if my weapon-mounted light fails, then it fails. Then I switched to my handheld. That's why I did that low no-light course with Fundicono at the end of last year. So I now have to use a handheld with a weapon-mounted light. Excuse me. So I know how to use a handheld with my firearm if my weapon-mounted light fails, or if I don't have a weapon-mounted light. So the thing I trust my life most to is my training, right? Glocks jam. It happens. Everything has a failure point. Everything has a failure point. Don't kid yourself. And everything has a tolerance for failure, whether it be Surefire, Trigicon, freaking Sightmark, Hollow Sun, Olight, Surefire. Everything has a tolerance for failure. Nothing is 100% perfect except you and the training you've put in to be where you are. That's why training is so vitally important. So to answer your question, no, I wouldn't trust my life to an Olight. But if I had to put a Surefire on my firearm and you ask me that same question, I would say no, I don't trust my life to a Surefire either. Because that is merely a singular tool that I'm using as an aid. Okay, it's not the thing I'm basing my capability on. My capability is myself. If my light doesn't work, I go on fighting. If my firearm jams, I tap back. If my dot isn't there, I use my irons. If my glass breaks and I can't see my irons, man, I'm going to point shoot. But you know what? I'm not going to say, because that one tool failed, I'm out of the fight. Right? And that's a bad mentality to go in with. Right? Trust your life to your training. Your tools supplement it. Okay? If you were a Spartan and you lost your spear, dude, you pick up a rock. You do whatever the case is. Okay? So, that's the answer to that question. Package. Whew. Man, that is this thing. This Benchmade just gets, seems like it just gets sharper and sharper. So this package is from the fine folks over at Torch SA. Henry Bierman, thank you so much. That's not bad. I am wearing caps more often. I am wearing caps more often. Not bad. Needs a bit of shaping though. We'll get to that. Put the old core back. But this is the Trustfire T30R, and it's a LEP, LEP, I don't know. This is my very first one of these. Now, get this. This light has 460 lumen. Now you might be saying, dude, you're wasting my time. No, it has, where's the stat? 302,500 candela. This is a laser beam. Okay, it's got a beam distance of 1.1 kilometers. This is my first one of these. I've been seeing it on the YouTubes and the Instagrams quite a lot. I'm really keen. It's from Trustfire, as I said. Trustfire, freaking fly flying around here. Trustfire, I just want to put this out there, right? Are a really underrated brand. I was going through my Trustfire flashlights this past weekend. They make some good lights at some really good prices. They don't have the name, but if you can get over that, they make some really cool flashlights. Really, like if it's a light that you're not going to use in a combat environment, like a utility light, Trustfire makes some really cool, really well-priced flashlights. I'm very keen to see what the beam is like on this sucker. So, thank you very much for that, Henry Bierman. I do want to say a massive thank you to the guys at Opsmen for allowing me the opportunity, the honor to test their weapon light, and for taking my advice, because just today I messaged them about a few things and they said, okay, they're going to speak to the engineering team. That for me is huge, right? Yes, I'll put in the reps, I'll put in the draw strokes, I'll go shoot and I'll test it, but just that people are beginning to value my opinion means so much to me. It's like, it's a big deal, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like, imagine you want to race in Formula 1 and you race, but all of a sudden people respect you as a racer. I feel like it makes my heart warm that people will take that on and like willing to listen. It really means a lot. So I'm really going to do my best to test this as thoroughly as I can and give them as much feedback as I can. I will tell you, James hates me saying this, but this holster that he made is the best holster he's ever made. And this is still in the old days where it was like hand molding. He got the formula for this Opsmen holster so perfect, it is beyond belief. But he's gonna hate me for saying that, and he will probably unfriend me after saying that, because he's wanted me to not talk about Opsmen here. He struggled like crazy to make this holster, and it's a proper work of art. Guys, I'm gonna see you on Sunday. I'm gonna do my question. You tell me. On Sunday, should I review what's in this bag and how I have it kitted out, or should I do my EDC? I'm not going to do both. So let me know below, if you're watching on Instagram, YouTube, wherever, what you think I should do. Because I can always delay my EDC for a week, or I can delay this for a week. These pouches, guys, they're really cool. That is it, guys. Have a good week. Be safe, train hard. Cheers. God bless.